the spot right here.
2 years.
So out of all of us, how much time we got? How much time you got, MP?
I did 10 straight for the state.
State. Yeah, what you got the feds and how much you feds?
I only did 6 months. Like I was telling you about that thing. Whenever I got caught with a gun, I had to go back to DOC, set it up for 2 years or something.
You got something like that too, though. I ain't you up there in the levels? What you at right now?
On and off?
Yeah. So what you got?
5.5, 3 years, 4 months, 3 years, 8 months, 6 months.
So between all of us, really, though.
About a decade apiece for sure.
Yeah, like 30 years right here. Yeah. 30 years combined total right here. That's a lifetime. That's like where we at right now, though. You know what I mean? We all in our 30s now, though. I mean, shit, right? So push it right up.
Act like you don't hear that.
We ain't gonna talk about that.
I'm pushing up there. Yeah.
We ain't gonna talk about that.
Hey, but look at us.
He looking good, though. You see him conservative, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, real deal.
We all got our stuff together, man.
A little powwow.
I just didn't quit. That's the only distinguishing quality from me and probably whoever else going through this or went through this or is gonna go through this, is that I ain't quit. I went through every emotion. I went through every emotion with trying to pursue what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And I think that what's gonna separate whoever's gonna try to go for something is that you ain't gonna quit.
Well, but shit, that was a lot. That time seemed to go super slow for me when I was up in there. You know what I'm talking about? Like I don't know. I don't think people on the outside like understand like how time is so slow in prison because out here it's so fast. You know what I mean? So in there, that should be going like if you waiting on a letter. If you tell somebody you're gonna send them a letter and they send some pictures, believe me, they're waiting on that day in, day out. And you know, USPS nowadays, you know, it take 3 or 4 days to get there. You know, I know now they got the JPay, but nothing beats the handwritten letter. If you got a loved one that's locked up and you take the time out the day to write them that letter, hey, they're gonna appreciate that and they're gonna love that right there. Because don't get me wrong, the JPays are good. You know, any form of touching your people is great, but man, ain't nothing like that real letter, huh? Especially when you get to smell it. It got a little bit of, smells like the world, smells feminine, you know, like, man.
Hey, you remember the other guys too? If you was getting mail from a girl and it smelled like something, you would let them smell it.
Oh, yeah, smell it.
Smell that.
You know, really, the place we was at right there was a private facility, so compared to like the regular state facilities, the privates were like a little more lenient and more open, you know what I mean? And they had more, like I know when I got there, they was ordering a little bit of food and all kinds of stuff up in there, you know what I mean? But it was still a level 3 yard though. It was still a medium, you know, working on its way to close to a degree, but you know, the movement was open. I think Kit Carson was probably one of the best facilities I hit while I was locked up though. Yeah. Not to say that any of them was like good or nothing, but you know, like, right? You know, like straight across the board, you know?
I heard that those CCAs that's kind of how they are across the board. Everywhere you go across America. And I think they're under some scrutiny about like just their, how we used to talk about how, you know, prison is like a money-making thing.
Being out, I've been able to trace that shit back and see the real line that's there. That stuff is real because the people who have the shareholders in there are the people who are passing the laws. So they're the same people that are advocating for stricter gun laws or stricter gang policies. These are the same people that hold shares in the private prisons. So therefore, you know, of course, they make more money when more people get locked up and get locked up at longer durations. You know, that's passive revenue that's pretty much coming in off of his head, and off of my head because they billing for each one of us for X amount of time. So you got to think about it. The private corporations of America, the prisons, they're probably the most crooked thing in the world. These prisons, therefore, they put you so far away from your people in these little small towns that you've never heard of. They make it hard for you to stay connected with your people, to stay, you know, it costs your loved ones, you know, what was it, 25 cents a minute just to call? How much was it a minute, though, when you called just people?
Well, remember they used to have it where it was the $1.25 just for them to accept the call.
Yeah.
Then it was like 20-something cents or 17
And you capped
cents.
off on 20 minutes. In some places, you don't even come out.
15.
You don't even come out long enough to make 2 or 3 calls. If you want to take a shower and make a phone call, you better prioritize. You better zoom to that phone because at the end of the day, man, when someone gets that phone, you may be assed out. You may not even get it. For real. And you may get to that shower, and that shower is going to be ice cold too. The shower is going to be freezing because everybody didn't jumped in. You already had 20 people take a shower ahead of you before you get up in here. You know, these are the standards of, but see, these is all the repercussions of our bad decision making at one point in time. But we had to suffer for it. We still suffering for it to a degree because we can't never shake that paper. That paper is how we always gonna get judged. That's why, at least for me, I know making this YouTube channel is to give you a better presentation of people that's been incarcerated and show you that, hey, at the end of the day, that negative stigma, yeah, that's great, but that ain't all of us, you know? Some of us take our lives serious.
Stay out of prison.
Straight up. Stay all the way out of there. Stay out of jail, stay out the county jail, you know? See, for us, we a little bit older, so we're like 30, 40, and we came up in eras where, you know, where it was way different than this. You know, nowadays, if you commit a crime or do anything, you're gonna get caught. There's too many cameras, you got too many angles. You can't do stuff like that no more like when we were coming up. So if you were ever even
put
trying
that work in, this is what you gonna see.
Yeah.
The same shit you looking at right now.
Heartache.
Somebody's recording.
Yeah, man.
Somebody's recording.
Shoot, I want to ask you a question real fast. Like, give us like one of the most memorable time, just the memory you had whenever we was in Kit Carson. It doesn't have to be whenever we was together. Just just in general.
It's just like me and TJ was just talking about it. Walking the hallways. We walk the hallways,
Yeah,
just
I seen
strolling
it
and
before.
singing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just a little. That's my biggest memory of Kit Carson, really.
So what he talking about, see, me and him was on a special crew called the Captain's Crew. It was for inmates that were, you know, like right up free and things of that nature. And we always did what we needed to do. So what it allowed us to do is go back and forth throughout the whole facility for like X amount of time. So we was able to, you know, we had to move with a broom or a mop, but we'd be moving through the facility. So we would see like we see everybody in the facility all day, every day. You know, a lot of times, you know, we
Dap
might
each other up real fast.
You know, when you see one another, you're gonna show love though. You know what I mean? So we're a
Because
team.
you gotta understand, you know, a lot of them don't know out there the way it was set up. We in a prison where we really don't even see each other except for in the chow hall. You go to the chow hall. If you was in, what was it, all the way down the hallway? What was it, C unit? If you was in C unit, A and B was next to each other, so you see each other going out the hallway. But C unit, all the way on the other side. It's an own hallway all the way down there.
Another world.
So until you see them in the chow hall, you might not see them.
I don't think redemption ends when you just get out though. You know, that's an ongoing process of your lifetime. And for all three of us, I feel like, you know, our redemption process is still going right now. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like my man here is still raising his daughter and still raising his family, and you know, P's doing his thing, and you going into the next level of life. And you know, this process is always constantly leveling up though. You see what I'm saying? It ain't just stopped when we got out. We throwing confetti in the air and partying and doing all that. It ain't even been time for that. I know I'm pushing on 5 years out here, and I can't even say it's time for that yet. You know, because I still ain't where I want to be in life. But you know, it's the ongoing process of sharpening one another and growing into greater men than we were before. Because before we was kids when we got locked up.
TJ, let me ask you real fast. Was it in Burlington, or was it before? Was it a facility you was at before there where you really started to hit the books and started?
I started at Lyman.
Lyman? Okay.
Because I started at Buena Vista. From Buena Vista, I was there for 2. Got kicked out of Progress there to Walsenburg. From Walsenburg, I was at Walsenburg for 2 years. Messed up there. Got sent to Lyman, and then from Lyman, I was able to get my points down, and they shot me over to Kit Carson. Then from Kit Carson, they shot me up to Sterling. From Sterling, I left. That's my whole trip right there. But you know, the whole thing was, Lyman was so locked down, there wasn't nothing else really to do.
I don't think they understand how many years it's been.
I don't think they understand what a year feels like in there.
2007, we was all up there together. The last time all of us was up there together.
Yeah, but then Paris B was up there. R.I.P. Paris B.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace, Paris B. Paris B was up there. I mean, there's a lot of fellas that we done came across, and I mean, good fellas, you know, just bad decision making at 1 second.
Boy Pitt.
He's back. He's back in prison. I don't know what for. I tried to trace him back, see what happened. It happened like around 2015 or 16, but yeah, it's kind of vague. But yeah, he's back in bed somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, everybody else, I mean, a lot of people are really doing good, you know, and I think that's the thing. We gravitated towards one another because we was all on the same type of, you know, growth mind state when it came down to it.
Yeah,
you know?
everybody that still was around that's in prison again, I haven't even talked to because it's not even in my future anymore. It's just a chapter in the past.
When you're dealing with someone that's been incarcerated, you got to understand, a person's been disappointed in the worst kind of ways, and not only by family but by themselves. So it's a growing process for themselves, as well as connecting back with their family and their friends and things of that nature, because we've been through some trenches. Like, we've been through some of the lowest of lows that you could even imagine in your life. And don't take it for granted that we shining bright now. This is the result of hard work and dedication at the end of the day. But the convey to the world, for anybody that's watching this, is that, hey, at the end of the day, prison ain't what's up. You know, it ain't. And I wish I could have found manhood.
Hell no.
I wish I could have found manhood through a different manner and through a different transition to a degree. I love my life, I love who I am today, and I wouldn't take back nothing. But if you didn't have to go through the area like I would never want to put nobody through the same pain and heartache that I had to put myself and my family through. So if you're watching this, take heed to that, please, if anything. Please.
I think there's kind of like this narrative with the inmates and culture today that young men think that going to prison is like a way to manhood or a pathway to manhood. It's not. You can be a man.
No, the misconception for this generation right now that ain't been there is they think that going to prison and getting out, you got an extra stripe on your belt, or that you now I've been to the pen.
Nope.
You know, they get out with that mentality that, oh, I already been to the pen, so now you just super hard, but you're super dumb.
And
At the end of the day, that's what it's a dumb decision.
Real talk.
If you think that going to prison gives you a stripe or makes you look harder, that's catching a
been
felony.
told.
Catching a felony is
Oh.
that paper that he said you can't shake.
you
At
can't
the end of
shake
the
that.
day, once you have that felony on you, it just it does close some doors.
Yeah, no
Like
question.
it doesn't close all of them,
Absolutely.
but
It
you
makes
can
your
still
stuff
move
hard.
forward. But
You just can't go through the front door no more.
Yeah.
Where you used to be able to go through the front door and get up in there, you know, like that. Nah,
you might have to climb through the
yeah,
window.
you might scratch your leg on the way in there. You know what I mean?
This is
Like,
real talk,
but
guys. This is real
at the end of the day, you know, that's the generation that we grew up in, because that's the examples that we had of manhood. Is that, hey, but that story is old. That story is played out. You know what I mean? The new thing about today is really getting further in life with all these opportunities. Because if you're alive right now and you're watching this video, chances are you got opportunity galore by using your computer, by using your phone, by using your mind. Period. Point blank. And creating.
You can log on to anything and learn anything and know anything.
You can talk to anybody. Anybody can be touched. Back in the day, you couldn't talk to even reach some of these people that got some of the status nowadays. Now you can link in with them ASAP and make things happen. Like, we live in a great world. Recognize opportunity. And I think anything and everything, if you guys would agree with me, that, you know, it all starts with the mindset, though, right? First and foremost, if you want to get somewhere in life or you want a better quality of life, you got to fine tune your mind, though, and that's where it starts at. First and foremost is programming up here. You feel y'all would agree on that?
No, I'd agree.
So,
But if you go to prison, the only thing you're going to be logging into is the library.
all of us that's standing here, we've only been out a short amount of time, and you got to figure we haven't even scratched the iceberg of the things that we're gonna do. You know what I mean? Like the greatest for us really is yet to come, though. You feel me? Like the greatest that we still got is still
only
to come.
just begun.
Only just begun. And the same could be said about you. You just gotta make them decisions in your life. You gotta change stuff out. You gotta edit stuff. You gotta constantly be editing your life. You know, for me, I gauge stuff by results. So if I'm not getting the results I want, that's what gives me the push to go back and look at something again to figure out where I need to fine tune to get the results that I want. You know, and that's the thing about life. If you waking up and you watching this video and you're healthy, and if you in America, you got 24 hours to do any and everything that you can. Them 24 hours is on you. If you're gonna sleep 18 hours a day, that's your fault. You know what I mean? Just don't complain around us, please. Please don't complain around us.
Sitting back eating zooms and whams.
Because I'm telling you, I stay.
Crumbs and
I go-
shortcakes around their mouth and stuff.
I'm up as late as I can be, chasing it.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's
You
the
know, I
purpose.
just went through. I had a class yesterday for my low parole, and I see my therapist because I see her once a month.
All right.
And I told her I started doing DoorDash, and she sat there and she told me, she said, I think it's amazing how you can take your old lifestyle, driving around in the streets, trapping and grinding like you used to, and you delivering food, making money off of it, living the same life that you're used to. You just adjusted it into your way so that you're not going back to prison
That's when you
as
high
you do
five
it.
her. Boom, high
Yeah.
five. Yeah, you got it.
That's what she told me. She said, I just think it's amazing how at 2 in the morning you're dropping food off and you're making money the same way you used to make money, but you're still doing it. You just took your skills and just
And it's gonna
used
get greater than
it
that, too.
for the right way.
That's stuff, and I think we got a great skill set when it comes down to making stuff that's bad into good stuff for us, though. You feel me?
Yeah, let me ask
Real
you guys a
deal.
question real fast. What did the pod smell like 24/7 a day?
Depends if they buff the floor. Usually, I smell the buffing. When you ask me that question, it's that fresh wax. You know, that fresh wax that they lay at
That made
night.
me think when you said fresh wax, I can like literally picture Kit
Yeah.
Carson walking down the hallways.
Yeah. And what did it smell like to you, though?
It smelled like booty every day. Like as soon as you come back from the yard, you come in, you're about to hop in the
Sweat.
showers, you get hit with just like this stale smell of booty and men's sweat,
Until
mustiness, and all
until you
that.
walk by that oil burning.
Yeah, until you
They don't know nothing about that oil burning.
We had to go through treacherous conditions to keep ourselves smelling good, so we had to take a piece of toilet paper, and they would have Muslim oils, and you could dab the Muslim oil on the toilet paper, and then you'd have a regular little desk lamp, and what we would do is we put that piece of paper right on there, and it would start burning. But you know, the COs would come by and they'd get a whiff of it, and they'd look in the cell because you ain't supposed to do it. They worry about you catching a fire. They worry about all that stuff. They'd come in there and they'd harass you about that type of stuff. But for the most part, you would always have the exclusive stuff. You'd have the Armani, you'd have the Geo, you'd have all that good stuff. You had that nice little plug up in there. We'd be looking for Ike, like Mr. Smell Good. I'd be having that stuff on me, walking through the chow hall.
Walking through the hallway.
Yeah. Hell yeah, you know, trying to make myself feel like I was somebody, you know, while I'm long gone.
Let me ask you guys a quick question. Like, would you say coming out of prison that gratitude is one of the biggest traits that we carry whenever we get out?
It's gotta be. You gotta figure how long did we not get it. We didn't even get to see the moon. We wasn't even seeing the night sky sometimes.
There's the little things that I still talk about to this day. That everybody out here, that's if you ain't never did no time, you ain't gonna never understand what it's like, how good it feels to see the sunset. Or this right here behind us, all this water. The simplest thing like this, I could sit right here on this bench that these cameras are sitting on, and just the average person that ain't never did no time, you ain't gonna never understand.
Never.
How good that feels, or how much you take advantage of it.
One of the greatest tools that I took about the penitentiary was waking up in the morning and putting like 5-10 minutes aside just to say thank you for everything, for waking up with good health, for waking up, you know, my heart beating, with my lungs working, you know, for having the opportunity, you know, to go out here and have, you know what I mean, like stuff like that. And I think truly there's a parable in the Bible where you talk about too much is given and much is taken, and I always took that as gratitude as well. You know, much more is going to be given to you when you have the eyes to see what you're thankful for. More can be added on to you. But when you can't even recognize what he's providing you with right there, he's going to take everything, and that means stuff that you don't even have, he's taking away from you. And that, man, at the end of the day, I don't want him taking nothing more away from me already. You know what I mean? I want it all gains. You know what I mean? May look like a loss in my eyes, but Lord, I know you're working, and I know it's a gain. You know what I mean? Straight up. What about faith, though? You think faith got you through a lot of your time?
Oh man, faith. Hey, YouTube, I'm not ashamed. I ride the Lord all day long.
All day.
Yeah, so let's not get it twisted. Yeah.
Firm believers over here.
I know, that's right. Let me ask you guys a quick question again. Is there a habit that you know that you kind of took from the joint that you kind of still do today, whether it's being an institutionalization type thing?
I can't sleep without my beanie.
Got the fan.
So check it. I actually told my girl the other night, because I got this big fan, and it's cold downstairs in the basement, but it's my favorite spot because I'm always hot. But I got this big fan, and that shit blows, and it's cold as fuck. So I was like, hey, we got some little fans that are just the same size as the ones we had in the joint. So I got this little black one, and I turned that shit on last night. I said, see, that's just the perfect amount of noise that you need. Because the other night I tried to cut the fan off, and I was like, it's too fucking quiet in here. I turned that fan on, boy. So it's a little thing like that, and I'm telling you, I ain't shook my beanie. I go to sleep with a beanie on my head still. Still.
I think there's a couple for me. I think just being, being aware of my time. Like I manage my time like I'm in prison. You know what I mean? Like every hour is something different. You know what I mean? Like it's either going to be rec time this time or it's going to be this. You know what I mean? Like my day is planned like in a routine, you know, systematically, and I catch myself when those routines and habits don't fit perfectly. I find myself getting frustrated, just like I would if I was in prison. And, you know, we got an unexpected lockdown or something like that. You know, you might have had a visit coming that weekend or something. You know, I still catch myself feeling it kind of ways.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm in the gym still working out like I got an hour. You know what I mean? I'll be in there still super setting like I got an hour. You know what I'm talking about? Like, yeah.
And let me ask you, hey, whenever you're in the gym, don't tell me after you do some sets or whatever, do you try to walk?
Oh yeah, hell yeah. That's my time. That gives me a little breather. Hell yeah. And for me being out here now, time is moving extra fast, and that's one of the biggest differences that I can say between being in prison and being out here is that in there at least we had the luxury to sit down and be able to digest stuff. You know, we were using our time right. We were able to read and we're able to retain what we're reading, we're able to learn and able to grow. But out here, I can't find the time to sit down like that. I can't find the time to digest a lot of stuff. So, you know, everything that I'm doing now is all off of preparation and, you know, straight, you know, just straight what's inside of me to the best of my abilities, because there's no time. Like, the time is moving light here right now. Like, you know what I mean?
Too fast.
At
It's
least
like
for
we're
me.
almost into the fall right now.
Already.
Man, it's crazy.
No doubt. No doubt.
Hey, do sometimes, like whenever you're brushing your teeth or something, spit in the toilet? Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You know, I told someone that the other day at my job, though. I was telling them how I was on parole, and I said, you know what? I said the coldest part is I think a lot. As much as I don't wish prison on nobody, I feel like society needs to be taught some of this shit we learn in prison.
Oh, yeah.
Because this
you
culture out here is rude as fuck.
Well, you know what that is in prison. At least in prison, you got people that actually hold the bar, though. You know what I mean? You got a consequence in there when you don't abide by the certain rules and regulations that's imposed. You know, like out here, there's no. If even you yell at somebody, they call them the police. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying everything got to be violent like in prison, but you should be able to have.
You're gonna be held accountable.
You should have somebody that holds you accountable and make sure that you abide, because.
Motherfuckers get the misconception just because you got something nice, they think you still doing wrong. You know what I mean?
That's why we're blazing new trails right here, though. We set the bar a little bit higher this type of round. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing.
I mean, it's nice to show, because you know what? It's nice to show that you can do it like that and not have to live like that.
I think y'all agree, though. We had like a point in our life where we don't even want it the fast way. Like, if it comes easy, we don't even want it. Like, man, get that away from me. Like, I'd rather, at the end of the day, I'd rather grit for 5 years and see the fruit of that on the back end than sit here and have somebody, you know what I mean, get something real fast and quick that I know ain't gonna last. And I know that got a chance to put me in a position that a man. All right, YouTube, that was my partners right there. I'm glad y'all took the time to sit here and peek the video out right here. This is my man Ike, if y'all don't remember, and my man P, he right here in the back. You know what I mean? These are my brothers right here. But, you know, we greatly appreciate your time. We greatly appreciate you watching this video and hope that you got some value from it. If you did, drop a comment below and let us know what's your takeaway with this video right here. Most definitely hit that like button, hit that subscribe button so we can stay tuned in. I'm going to put my man's channel in there. He got a channel in there. My man's going to make one with his daughter real soon, too. So keep your eye out for that one. And at YouTube, it's all love. We appreciate you.
If you like this video right here, please show some love and hit the like button. Also hit the subscribe and notification button to stay updated for the latest videos. New videos will be dropping Thursday, 9 p.m. Mountain Time, so please stay tuned.